Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, November 4th, and welcome to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. Today, our very special guest, our first very special guest, because you guys are getting two shows today. Coming up next at 4 p.m., we have Jackie McGee, who is a music icon, known for hit singles such as Make It Last Forever, If This World Were Mine, and Salt and Pepper's Expression, and her newest hit single, which we'll be here to talk about as well, too. But joining me today, we have a filmmaker and the host of his own podcast, Good Head Podcast, Marcus Head, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's welcome him and introduce him to this talk show here. All right, Fashion Dolls, let's dive right into it. So let me go ahead and share this live. Let everyone know that we are live. You guys are getting two shows today. 4 p.m. Hey girl, TGIF, how are you? Shout outs to my beauty and makeup artist, Melanie Nalamai Bridges, for making sure that we are right each and every week. She has been delivering. And of course, you guys know that I have been coming with the slayage, the fashion, and everything. So you guys just have to stay tuned. We have so many amazing guests coming in on this platform this month of November. I'm so thankful because before you know it, December will be here. So I went to Bath and Body Works today and I'm super excited. I share some things in my story, so be sure to go and check that out. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Head.
Hello, hello.
Hello and welcome to the Dollhouse. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. So before we get into this interview, how would you describe your 2022? We're like a quarter, half going into the new year. We're not through with this month yet, or year of 2022. How has your year of 2022 been so far?
I would say it's been very productive. In 2022, well, first let me say hello to everybody that may not know who I am. My name is Marcus Head. I'm filmmaker, director, started out as a comedian, just have really involved my life into the entertainment business. And for 2022, it's been bittersweet. It's been bittersweet because I just recently lost one of my best friends in comedy, Dirty South. And yeah, she just passed away last Monday. And a friend of mine, Nard, and then a couple other friends as well. So that's been, hard. And in the last, 3 weeks, two of them passed. And so that was hard. It's been a good, 2022 has been good because one, I turned 50. So yes, so I hit the double nickel, half the century, and very happy about that. I have a film that is coming out to lots of platforms, including Tubi, and I'll find all the platforms out in a couple of weeks, but it'll be out in late December, early January. It's called Can't Get Right, and it's a film about a young man named Tyler, played by Shawty, who finds a bag of money that belongs to the mob. And he needs the whole community to help him get together, get everything right. And also we have Mahogany Raspberry playing Grandma Dirty. We have Damon Williams. Shout out to Damon. Shout out to Jesse Lewis IV. Shout out to Butterbeat Rocka. Just so many people in the film. Shout out to Montel Jordan, who's a producer on the film. He gave me like 4 songs with Lecrae. We also have a Rick Ross song. And shout out to my editor, Blake Magic, who put it together. And we also have a new project called Live and in Color, very similar to In Living Color, Chappelle Show, Saturday Night Live. So I'm really looking forward to that. We have 50 sketches done. It's an improv comedy show. And we're actually finishing up the last 20 sketches this December 19th, 20th, and 21st in Atlanta. So we're shooting that as well. So really happy about that. And we just have a great cast. We got Rodney Perry. Rodney Perry's in the film Can't Get Right as well. Can't give a shout out to Rodney Perry. But on the Live and Color project, we have Rodney Perry, Leon Rogers, a comedian extraordinaire who's on the biggest radio station in the country, WGCI in Chicago. Shout out to my hometown, Chicago. Coco Brown, who's one of my personal friends. Love her to death. to me, one of the top 5 female comics out there. And she's an actor as well. We got Jesse McDonald, Marvin Hunters, just a lot of great people. Linda Voracek, and a great production team. Kaylin Love. We also have Soft Sticks Productions, who does all the audio and everything else. I'm gonna let you talk. You got to just jump in with me because I run my mouth all day. So I'm just gonna
go ahead. Let everyone know about this project because I was just about to ask you about this. Mhead Productions, improv at the best, live and in color. And first thing to my mind, as you mentioned, was a living color because I've seen all of the comedians, different lineup, different styles, everything.
Right.
And like, where did you get the inspiration for this? Because I know this is very time consuming, putting all of these comedians together, different arts, different personalities, and all of these things. And I know this is going to be an amazing project. So tell us, what was the process like for planning this thing out?
Sure. Well, like I said, I started as a stand-up comedian in Atlanta. And when I first started out, it was Bruce was the first person to put the mic in my hand. And when I started out, it was myself, Double D, Fredo Davis, who goes by Food Stamp, Mark Henderson. It was Little Duval, Finesse Mitchell, T-Ray, Sanders, and that was like the core right there. Nancy Bellany, that was the core right there. And we all have evolved, you know, all of them are headliners now in their respective things. I went a different way. You know, I went into the production, and I just kept relationships with all those people because I used to, after I did comedy, I actually started booking and doing promotions, you know, putting comedians on, you know, performances and things like that. And I've always just kept a good relationship with all these comedians, and all of them are on the project. So basically the project was, I just wanted to do something because it's nothing like in living color. So, you know, first thing you're going to think living color, but it's the daily things that we deal with now. We have a lot of therapy sessions with Dr. Sabrina. Shout out to Dr. Sabrina Jackson. So basically we have like a scene called The Pimp in Therapy. It's about a pimp who's in therapy because he can't keep up with, you know, his women, and he can't keep up with the prices and inflation. So he got to go see a therapist. And it's a situation where he can't afford gas for his Cadillac. So he's seeing a therapist, and now he pimping on a 10-speed bike. And he's saying that he can't keep up with his women and collect his money because they got big, strong leg muscles. So they, you know, he got to, you know, he had a breath pedaling, trying to catch up with him. And we got scenes like Two Little People. Shout out to Abria Green and Harrison Floyd, who's on the project. And he's talking about he don't want to be with her no more because he want big women now. He don't want no more short little people. So it's just so many just funny things. We got our Drizzle, Ranty X, also on the project, and they talking about all he do is lie. So she's in therapy with him because he got a problem with lying, and she wanted him to see a therapist. So Dr. Serena Jackson is key because she does 2 things in the project. We call her Dr. Hershey on the project because she's doing all the therapy session, and it's hilarious, funny. But she's a real clinical therapist, so she's giving real advice. So it's inspiring for people to have certain things that's going on, different topics. And at the end, Dr. Sabrina gives her words of wisdom of things from suicide to bullying to marriage advice. And she has a nice thing that she does with colors, about colors and personalities. Like blue is, you know, meaning that you are such this. Orange means that your personality this. Green means your personality that. So it's real. A lot of people call it a Cosby Show improv show. So where it's going to make you laugh, but it's going to have a message and you're going to be entertained. So, and we don't have anything like that right now. And we have a diverse cast. It's just not a black comedy TV show that we're creating. And you guys remember the Fly Girls were in Living Color. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're doing the independent artists. So if you're an independent artist, definitely, you know, follow me, send me your music, because we're looking for clean content videos of people that just have a video or just have music. And we want to, you know, get you out there. And, you know, so that's another niche we're doing. But like I said, we have some funny sketches. We got Leon Rogers is playing I'm a Pay You Man. He sitting on his couch, and all he do is people calling him, telling him, okay, you owe me money. When ain't gonna get my money? And he like, I'm gonna pay you, I'm gonna pay you, I'm gonna pay you. So it's different stories. Coco Brown is a 111 operator, where she is like, you know how when you call a 911 operator, she gonna tell you go to hell, or you know, if you got that cat stuck in a tree, you shouldn't have had the damn cat stuck in a tree. Maybe they're trying to get away from you, you know, stuff like that. So it's just hilarious, but it's gonna talk about deep topics like, you know, I used to act, and I did two. I acted in two episodes. One was with my son. My son is 10 years old. He was in Can't Get Right. He's on Can't Get Right. But he did a scene with Coco Brown. It's called Mommy in the Shower, Daddy in the Shower. Basically, you know how when you get if you got kids, when you get in the shower,
Yeah.
your kids always want to bother you when you're in your shower. So he's sitting there on the toilet right in front of us asking questions while we trying to take showers, you know, separate times. But it's just hilarious. So, you know, like I said, you're going to enjoy it. The quality is just brilliant. You know, we shot on everything from black magic cameras to red cameras, but the quality is something you would see on HBO, TBS, you know, nothing you would see like on Centric or, you know, on one of those, you know, just barely streaming platforms. So we are definitely trying to get a TV network. You know, if we stream, that's fine, but we want to reach a large audience because, as we all know, Saturday Night Live is leaving. So we want to have something, you know, and the idea didn't come from Saturday Night Live. It didn't come from In Living Color. The idea really came from just all the TikTok videos, all the YouTube videos that you see that's just hilarious, and it's just a market for that. And I figured, why not just put some actors and comedians in it? And I have a young lady named Linda Vorchek. I'm telling you, when you check her out, she is like the next thing of just improv comics that is just phenomenal.
Okay. Now, you also have a podcast as well, too, the Good Head Podcast Show.
Mm-hmm.
And you did an interview with Hayward Nelson. We know him as Dwayne from What's Happening. You've interviewed a plethora of guests on your platform. So tell us a little bit how your podcast got started and how you got your start with your podcast. And another question is, how do you find the balance with producing, directing, acting? Because you wear a lot of hats.
I can't. I haven't found it yet. I'm still working on that. It's an everyday process. My wife works from home. She's an executive, and she's works from home, 8 to 10 hours a day. So she's talking to CEOs from hospitals and everything. So it's got to be quiet on one side of the house. So I'm a stay-at-home dad first before I'm anything else. So I pick the kids up, drop the kids off, making lunches, making breakfast, making dinner. As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going to pick them up. We're going to, my son that got a little growth spurt. We got to go get some more clothes. And I have a 5-year-old daughter. And every day, every hour, she changing outfits. She changing hairstyles. It's ridiculous. I got to get off that damn YouTube. And what balances things is, one, I have a passion every time I wake up is I just want to create. I'm a creator. So that's the first thing. And you know exactly what I'm talking about is when you have something that you're passionate about, like your show and things you do. I know you're into fashion, that it just lights you up. So what I do is after the kids are taken care of on their way to school, I'm either writing scripts. I do a lot of work doing like pitch packages for people where you put, like, say that you want to become a movie director, or you want to film. See, a lot of people call me and, ask for advice. How do I get out there? How do I get my thing out there? And what I'll do is I'll tell them to develop a pitch package. Basically, create a website, develop a pitch package with cover art of your project and who's going to be in it. Develop a budget. I develop budgets and plans for people. So that I can do a masterclass because YouTube and Skillshare taught me how to direct and write films. So I know I'm getting off the topic. You asked about the podcast. That's my man right there, the Good Head Podcast Show. And I created the Good Head Podcast shows for several reasons. One, I wanted to get people give people a platform to inspire them to, one, want more for themselves and their community. Two, I wanted to bring guests that are going to inspire people they haven't seen, like Haywood Nelson. A lot of people, when they saw Haywood Nelson, they had no idea he had so much energy, and he's still relevant in the business right now. And Actually, Haywood and I are actually talking about doing a partnership with a couple of things we're gonna do. So to have your idol on the phone and you're talking to your idol. Have you ever had that situation where you talk to one of your idols who you grew up watching and enjoying, and then you actually about to do business with them? Have you ever had that experience?
Yes. And the one that I can recall was Tangi Miller. You guys are familiar with her from Madea's family reunion, and she
Mm-hmm.
did Playing with Fire with Vanessa L. Williams. So definitely familiar with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I remember the first time we was on the phone talking, and he said my name, Marcus. I just like was like this dude know my name, you know. So I was like, you know, and I don't fan out, you know, because I've been around all celebrities and everything else, but it's different when you have someone you was watching when you was like 5 years old,
Yeah.
and you watch the reruns. And if you haven't checked out the video, go to YouTube or go to the podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and just look up Good Head Podcast Show. And you can look at, we've had Shawty, Dr. Sabrina, Men at Large. We have Montel Jordan coming up. We have, I'm working on a character from the Kanan Power series. I can't say his name just yet because we're in negotiation. And a Different World cast member we're going to be having, and we're working on that. And I'm actually working on a spinoff of Different World, like 25 years later. I can't give away that much information, but we have a lot of projects coming up. But the podcast is relevant to me because it creates a platform, one, for me. It allows me to meet entertaining people like Haywood and Men at Large. And like, I'll give you a perfect example. With Men at Large, shout out to Jason Champion and David Tolliver. When they did the podcast, you know, we just grew a relationship. And they're letting me use music for the Live and in Color project, you know. So that's huge, you know, to have people that caliber, you know, extending that olive branch to say, hey, you can use our music, you know, for your show. And the podcast does that. And anybody, if you're in an entertainment business or any business that has to do with connecting with people, get a podcast. And the reason why I say get a podcast is, one, it's better than just a video. It's a personal video of you always incorporating what you're doing, but also you're bringing in people and you're expanding what they're doing. Now, we don't have just celebrities. We're going to have all type of people. I got this one lady, all she does is make money, like removing sea turtles from properties. I'm in the midst of selling my house. I live in Florida. Everybody think I live in Atlanta, but I live in Florida. And for us to move, the owner that's going to buy the house, they want to build on multiple properties. So we have sea turtles on our property. So she actually goes, digs in the hole, grabs the turtles out, and removes and put them on another property. She makes a living doing that. To me, that's fascinating, you know. And we have one lady, all she does is just recreate furniture, makes money. I have a lady that from New Orleans, she got like 11,000 followers just making cakes and pies. That's fascinating, you know. So I want to blow them up, you know, because I understand how hard it is to market yourself in this business. And I just want to help people, you know, get to that plateau. And, you know, I have a little platform now with creativity to where I can actually, you know, not only with my films, but my podcast to, you know, put people and encourage people to do more. And, you know, God is blessing me. So I just want to bless back.
All the time. And it's
Amen.
about networking and surrounding yourself with the right people. And that was my next question for you. Are there any other people in the industry that you would love to collaborate with on your podcast or in your projects?
You know, I just want someone that has a relevancy, that has put in the work, someone that has their followers. They've shown that they've created something and they're building on it. So I just want to help them build, you know, and that's no disrespect to anybody that say, hey, I want to do this. I want to go ahead and do that. But if you don't have a plan and you haven't shown that you've grown it, you know, we don't want to promote that just yet. We want to promote people that's going to put the work in. So those are the people offhand. Now, as far as celebrities, there's three people I have to have on my show eventually. One is my idol, Robert Townsend, because he inspired me to want to direct when I watched Five Heartbeats. That like inspired me to want to be a director. Just the detail, the funny, the stories. Just a lot of people compare my journey to Robert Townsend with the Hollywood Shuffle, doing the comedy.
Yeah.
And now get me wrong, I don't do just comedy. I have a drama coming up. I have a sci-fi project, an animation project. So we have a lot of things coming up. But you know, comedy is my love. So, you know, like Tyler Perry, stick with what you know. You know, Tyler Perry wear a dress and he a billionaire. I'm mad at him. He got his niche. You know what I mean? My thing is comedy, and you know, what can we stem from that? So, and then just move from that. But I would say Robert Townsend first. The second person was Haywood Nelson, because you know him and just anybody on that cast. So Ernest Thomas, if you're out there, you know, definitely want to speak with you. And I like them old school people, you know, but I like the current people that's on the Power series, that's on the you know, the come up shows and you know, things like that. But Stephanie Mills, I've always been a big fan of her music. The Power of Love like changed my life as far as just me on a spiritual side. You know, I actually wrote a remix song for that called "Learn to Respect the Power of Prayer." So I would love to collaborate with her on that. And I would say probably, you know, like I said, I don't get really into the celebrity. I have to be this, that. But I just love entertaining artists, music artists, you know. But comedians, that's my thing. You know, I love because I can identify. I know the journey. And see, a lot of people don't realize I got my big break working under Ron White. And Ron White was a comedian from the Blue Collar Tour with Billy Engvall, Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy. And I did a show with him that just changed my whole life because it was a big production. And I saw all those like lighting crews, camera, you know, all that stuff. And I fell in love. And actually got into writing years ago, but I didn't actually decide to do a movie until my wife and I was watching TV and we couldn't find anything. And she said, why don't you just write a movie? You're always talking about it. And bam, Can't Get Right came out. So, you know, we also have, like I said, a series drama, like those Power series, a movie very similar to In Too Deep and Deep Cover and Donnie Brasco all mixed in one with the female playing the undercover lead. We have that coming up. And just, like I said, just a lot of good things. Just, you know, like I said, God is good. My dad celebrated his 71st birthday yesterday. So it was nice so shout out to my dad. I counted on my fingers how many people I know that have parents that have been married over 50 years, still married, still alive, and still in the same house. I don't know too many people that can say that. So shout out to my parents. Shout out to my parents, because that old black love is hard to keep up. You know what I mean?
And that was going to actually kind of be my, which ties into my next question about longevity. What are some of the essential qualities that make a good director, a good producer, a good writer? What are some of the essential qualities?
Well, they are separate. I don't care what anybody says. A director and a producer are separate. And the meaning why I say that is a director is the hands-on every day, doing everything, putting everything, like the crew, like just hands-on on production, start of pre-production. The producer is a person that kind of puts the project, funds the film, funds the money, just the overall brain trust of what you're doing. So when you hear a producer and executive producer is the person that put the most money in. It's the person that put together the project. Now, I'm both. I'm an executive director and executive producer. And there's not a lot of us out there. You know, you got Tyler Perry, you know, you got certain people, but certain people don't write, direct, produce, and pretty much, you know, I do it all. Got my own distribution. Shout out to Homestead Entertainment, who got me the publishing rights to get on these platforms like Tubi and things like that coming out. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Go to my Good Head podcast show on YouTube and subscribe to that as well. You know, it's always about marketing. So directing is not for everybody because you're going to have your 8, 9, 10 days on set. That's not going to be me long term. I'm a boss. I like to put it together. You know, I'm more the producer than I am anything. So a writer and a producer. So like I said, the producer kind of hires everybody. And of course, the director is hand in hand on the selection, but the executive producer is the person that really puts it together. And it's just a lot. And if you have good people, surround yourself around people. I pick people first. I don't pick just whoever has the most experience. I pick, if you're going to be with somebody on the set for 8, 10 hours, you want to be able to like them and have a relationship with them. You know what I mean? It just makes it easier to work. So it's a lot. It's many hats. Like I said, I pick locations. I pick the cast. And I have a cast of a production crew of about 12 people. So that's not a small crew, but it's not the big crew. But, you know, and they eat a lot. So I got a big food budget. You know, we spend like $500 every day on food. But I believe in taking care of my people and letting them eat, you know, because that is huge. And I ain't talking about no M&Ms and no pizza. You know, everybody got fruit, drinks, and everything else, healthy stuff, and then everybody eats a hot meal. So I believe in taking care of my people.
100%. So which one of your performances throughout your career, because you've done a number of films, you've done a number of projects, which project resonates with you the most?
I would say my own personal projects. I've been on a lot of people. I've been a ghostwriter for 2 successful shows. One's a movie and one's a TV series. And, you know, I'm a ghostwriter, so I'm under contract, so I can't tell which one. But I would say my first project under my belt, under my money, under my name, which is Can't Get Right. Because so much was done from that. And we did it during the pandemic, for one. We didn't have enough money to finish the film starting out. We shot the first 7 days, and an investor pulled out at the last minute on me. So I couldn't pay all my people. I had to pay my production crew, and I had to tell my cast, I'm going to pay you later. And everybody got paid, but it was a process. But I had a relationship with all these comedians on the project, and I booked most of them on shows. So they know one thing about me is I'm going to deliver on my promise. So we got that done, reshot it, got it done. And it was perfect, you know, as far as just getting it out. And, man, I had people from high school just give me $100, $200, $250, you know, and that's love. KJ Rose, shout out to KJ Rose. They call her KJ Rose Effect. She has a song on there. She's Little Nas's spiritual advisor, and she was Jennifer Hudson's advisor on The Voice. And she's a big-time motivational speaker, so definitely follow her. And, you know, it's just gratifying when you have people 30, 40 years ago still supporting you, helping you with your project. You know, that means a lot, you know. And, you know, like I said, it was a long journey, and to get distribution and to have it coming out is gratifying. So I would say my first project because of everything that went into it.
All right, Fashion Dolls, you guys know what time it is. I can't keep Marcus here because I know he said he has something to do around 3. So we're going to get right into our games, Fashion Dolls. The first one is called the Rapid 5. And Marcus has to tell us 5 things that he can't live without. Through life, it can be your favorite drink, your favorite football team, your favorite musician, whatever you need. So, and then the next one we're going to do is called Turn the Tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions. And for my new viewers out there, you get to know a little bit about me through the question. So I have no idea what Marcus is going to ask me, but let's start off with the Rapid 5 first. What are 5 things that Marcus can't live without?
The first thing is my imagination, because that's something that no one can take away your imagination. Your imagination is the greatest gift you have in this world because it inspires you every day, to energizes you physically, mentally, and emotionally. So the second thing I would say is this in my hand. You see, I got it in my hand as a pencil because I'm always writing down my ideas and vision and things that I want to do. I would say family. I have to have my family, and not just your wife and your kids, but the extension. I have just a great relationship with my in-laws, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, just my, father-in-law, and just family, because my brother and sisters helped me, fund my project to get it off the ground. And, that's the first people you go to is family when you need money for your project. So family. I would say third would be my faith. And this is no particular order. My faith, believing in something. I'm not the most religious person, but I know my Bible and I pray. I get on my knees and read my Bible and just know that God has my back. So having a relationship with God is that's first. And I would say probably candy. I love me some candy. You give me some bottle caps, Kit Kats, or Skittles, or anything chocolate, I'm straight.
All right, Fashion Dolls, those are his top 5 favorite things he can't live without. It is time to turn those tables. So my guests get to ask me questions, and through the questioning, the viewers, my new viewers out there, if you're just joining and watching the show, you get to know a little bit about me, my likes, my dislikes, passions, whatever it is, throughout this questioning. So I'm going to pass it on down to Marcus here.
Okay.
And he's going to ask you some questions, Fashion Dolls. Take it away.
Is there anything on or off the table?
Go ahead. Shoot.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask one a educational, inspiring question.
Okay.
How do you grow this is for people that have TikTok, have Instagram, and have that. How do you grow your following and your base to make a successful show to where not only people are going to keep watching you, but they're going to respond by subscribing, liking, and things like that? So that's a question of how you do it that you can help educate your followers.
How I do it is, as you stated in the beginning of the interview, everyone knows that I love fashion, and I always find the most eye-catching things. It goes back to what you said also again, when you was talking about your project, I've been in color. One of the characters does something with color. So for me, it's all about color, imagery, and standing out. Or as I would say, because I say it all the time, and I quoted this in my story, I think a few weeks ago, I said, live life with drama. If you're not doing something with drama, not drama like, oh, this person is talking about this person, but no, dress it up a bit. Find the most eye-catching thing. And for me, it's fashion, it's color. So you find colors that people love, and that will instantly draw. Use hashtags. Shout outs to my girlfriend, my friend Babs, for this. She is the owner of Blue Haze Clothing. And I've worn a couple of her pieces here. Black owned. She's in Atlanta. She told me that. She said, girl, use your hashtag, do what you need to do, and that will draw. Do reels. A lot of people are starting to do reels. Reels are also a great way to draw in attention to whatever it is that you're trying to do to your page. I know my page is like a multi-thing. You get a number of things. You get home decor. You get beauty. You get fashion. And everybody's like, well, why is she so obsessed with changing up? Why does she change her hair so much? I'm a cosmetologist by trade. So I went to beauty school for this, and this is what I love. And so what I know and love, what makes people, mainly women, feel beautiful, which is my target audience, because I have men who are into hair as well too, and loving to see their woman look good. So that's what draws an audience, and it's all about the things that people love. You can't just have it one way. So TikTok wise, do things that you love. A lot of people are doing funny videos. I love comedy. I love to laugh. So find funny things to make videos about. And before you know it, you'll go viral. And you'll hit that 2,000 or 3,000 mark in no time, in record time. So use your hashtags, find a standing point, and stay on topic. Those are my key 3 things. Not all the other, necessary statistics of it, but that's how I do it. I find the most captivating things that when people are scrolling down Instagram, they'll be like, ooh, where did she find this? Where did she find this? I remember this. It's all of these things. And I kind of give you a little bit of nostalgia here on this platform. And just from my Instagrams, you guys can see. So, yeah.
I do want to add on that for hashtags and just the name of your show. Find something that is very searchable. Because if you put a name that's searchable, let's say Bigfoot. So you say Bigfoot Stories. That's the name of your podcast. When you type Bigfoot in, everybody that affiliates with Bigfoot, watches Bigfoot, is going to come in. You know what I mean? So come up with a name that it pops up automatically on the search engine. My second question for you is, what advice would you give your 18, 19-year-old self that you know now about this business?
Ooh, slow down. Don't be so, what's the word that I'm looking for? Because when I started off, I was kind of cocky. When we get in this business, we start off at a young age, just like we got it all figured out, we know it. But I just turned 29 Monday, so I'm still learning as I go. And with the experience, with life experience, I can't do the things that I used to do as a teenager now. But what I would tell my younger teenage self, or if my 19s or 20s that you mentioned, is just slow down. It's gonna be okay. Me, I've always lived my life in the fast lane of making sure that everything is perfect and trying to please people. Now, with me slowly but surely pushing 30, we're not there yet because I just turned 29 Monday. Um, Take a deep breath, exhale. It's gonna be all right because I wasn't always the glamorous version that you guys see. I was a bit of a hothead. I was bullied a lot. So with that comes being bullied, me standing up for myself and so many things. I didn't fight all the time. That's what you guys were thinking, but I did stand up. And that's where the outspokenness that you guys see today and slowly coming out of my shell as a woman that you guys see has happened. So that's what I would tell myself. Slow down.
Okay, okay. I like that. What is the one thing, let's say that the nuclear war came up right now and everything
Mhm.
was shut out. We didn't have no electricity. We didn't have phones. We didn't have anything. And then, and a genie came, you found a genie bottle and they rubbed the genie bottle and the genie only gave you one wish. What is the one thing that you would have to have back, that technology wise? What would be the one thing that you want back with your wish?
Techno-
Yes.
Technology wise?
Just period. Anything. Say you're on an island by yourself, stranded. You can't get off the island. And there's a genie bottle sitting there in the sand. You get to rub. What's the one thing that you want on that island that you can't live without? You know you're going to be on that island. Don't say no plane because you can't get off the island.
Um, I would say since I'm a music head and I love nostalgia, one thing that keeps me entertained and happy is music. I'm a music lover. So I would have to say cassettes. They're
You
no
say
longer hit.
cassette,
Yes. Cassettes. Bring them back
eight
because I
tracks.
still have some. Yes. A tracks. Some people collect, my father has vinyls. So of course people have vinyls. People's are taking their albums and turning them into vinyls. So I would have to say bring the cassette players back because I still have some. I found my Janet Jackson cassette yesterday, and I was going through some things because I have so much stuff, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't even know I had this. So I would have to say bring that back. But now it's just CDs and vinyls.
So Michael Jackson or Prince, and why?
Ooh, that's a tough choice. I would have to say Prince because we have something in common, and what I mean by that is Prince was a little bit of a rebel. He went by his own rules. He didn't care
And
about
Michael
religion.
Jackson didn't.
Fashion wise. Yeah, Michael did too, but Prince was on edge. Like he took it to a whole nother level. I didn't know anybody who could write something very controversial on their face, and he did all of these things as well as Michael, the king of pop. But I will go with Prince because one thing he said also before he passed away was, if you are a musician, own your masters. And not only did Prince say it, but T-Boz from TLC said it as well too. So owning your masters is definitely key. And we're hearing something about so many artists having to go back in the studio and re-record their albums because of publishing rights and all of these things. So it's important. Even for me, I've gotten this platform solidified as my own, my LLC and everything. So Style by Stevie is mine. It's nobody else's.
Right, trademark is important. I'm gonna tell you a little quick story. For my film, I told Montel Jordan, I said, "Well, I want to use this as how we do it." He started laughing. I said, "Why are you laughing?" And he said he don't even own the rights to it, so I have to go through certain channels to get it on. So he gave me some numbers, information. By the time I went through the whole process, girl, they wanted like six figures for me to do just a couple of minutes of that song. So, so that was like, wow, and his new album, Masterpiece, that he has all the rights to is what we use. And there's some phenomenal music on there. So definitely you're going to enjoy the project. And my last question I have for you, and this is personal.
Okay.
So brace yourself.
All right.
You ready?
Go
What is your
ahead.
favorite? What is your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal,
Yeah, what's your favorite cereal?
I would have to say, because I've been eating it a lot lately, Frosted Flakes. I haven't
Okay.
had them in a long time. My father bought some, and the whole box is almost gone. I've been eating them a lot. If not Frosted Flakes, then I love, of course, the classic Cheerios.
And the reason why I asked that question, and I did a scientific study. What you eat for cereal tells a lot about who you are. You don't think
Mm,
about it, but it tells a lot about who you are. If you're a person that's eating Captain Crunch, it tells who you are. If you're a person eating Raisin Bran, it tells you eating healthy, you eating something digestive, things like that. If you
yeah,
eating Lucky Charms or something like that, you like the sweet stuff, you know. If you eating a Frosted Mini Wheat, you like the combination, you know, the sweet and the bran. And it's just so on and on about cereal and the milk. Some people can't drink. They have to have, like, I have to drink latte milk. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So some people like to eat their cereal in a cup. So cereal is just a whole different ballgame. And this is so funny. Some people like to eat cereal just the way the box looks. Can you believe that?
I was one of those people growing up. Yep.
So I just think that is always a fascinating question to ask people about, you know. And I'm gonna get a 8B question in real quick.
Okay.
Um, what is it about your guests that excites you when you're talking to them?
Hearing their stories, and I was just telling someone this the other day, hearing someone's story, because only you can tell your story better than you. So it's fascinating to sit and just go through a person's story, and then you'd be like, wow, something goes off in your mind, a bulb goes off, and it's just like, I've been through something similar to this as well too. So I love sitting back and hearing people tell their stories and share their stories.
All right. Well, I appreciate you opening yourself up. That's different. I like that. I may use that on my podcast. So I might use it. So I have to go ahead and drop something in the bucket for you. No, I'm just playing.
This was so much fun, Marcus. We definitely got to do this again. So
Yes,
let
definitely. Definitely.
everyone know where they can follow you, where they can check out this project, Live and in Color, as well as your podcast and so much more.
Yes, you can find me on right here. If you're on, follow me right now at Mhead Filmmaker. You can't get right, like I said, it's coming out late December and early January. You can follow us at Can't Get Right Film on Instagram, or you can just go to the website, can'tgetright.com. That's Can't Get Right with the RITE. You can follow us on in Color Improv Show, the letter N. I know that's a lot for everybody. Just Google my name, Google Marcus Head. And when you Google my name, everything comes up. Just Google my name, Marcus Head, and everything comes up from the podcast to the films to everything we're doing. IMDb page, everything. Just Google my name. I ain't going to try to confuse nobody. But definitely follow, of course, Stevie. Follow me on our podcast. And it's very important that we keep this content and
Yeah.
people support, you know, especially because we're in this digital world right now. So let me go pick up the monsters because, you know, on Friday, my kids know on Friday when I pick them up, they're going to get ice cream or they're going to get smoothies. You know, we don't really do the bad stuff. We drink smoothies. We healthy eating people. So they know Friday is the day they get whatever they want. So thank God for giving me the resources and the ability to give my kids what they want.
Yes, definitely. And the next generation, inspire the next generation.
Yep. Yep. Well, I really appreciate it. And we're definitely going to keep in touch. This is the beauty I love about podcasts. It just creates relationships. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yes, we're here. So we see each other.
Yes. Yes.
Please go
Definitely.
and check out the Good Head Podcast Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow it right here on Instagram. And support M Head Filmmaker, all of the projects, Live and in Color, and Can't Get Right, and so much more.
Yeah.
Ladies
Oh,
and
I'm
gentlemen,
sorry. Mhead Films is the name of our website of everything related to everything we do. So mheadfilms.com.
and it is on Google because I typed it in and I went through and I checked out the site and everything is there that we talked about throughout this interview.
Oh, you
This
did your
interview will
homework,
be,
honey. Look at you,
yes,
honey.
and this interview will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube, so you guys can check it out over there. and tag Mhead filmmaker as well too. So definitely go and check that out. Joining me at 4 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, we have a music icon in the house, known for hit singles such as Salt and Pepper's Expression and Keith Sweat's Make It Last Forever. We have the lovely, the beautiful Jackie McGee. She's going to be joining me at 4 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in. Go refresh your drinks, and we will see you guys at 4. Take care, everyone, and thank you so much, Marcus. This was such an honor.
Thanks for having me.
You too. Take care.
All right.